What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another Prizepicks NBA player props video coming off a big week and over in the VIP. Got to give some shout outs before we get into the breakdown today because we had a lot of winners over there. So hit on a nice sweep in the NBA yesterday on Sunday. Myself for 400 into 10,000, rocking with the Desmond Bain fantasy score, Westbrook fantasy score, Tyrese Maxey points, Shea, Ludort, and Chet fantasy score. For a nice sweep there, and a lot of members swept alongside myself. Frank says, jumped in with the promo, KJK popping off, a lot of double up and six-man, helped to build the bankroll, smart units, and up. Only love to hear that. Always something I'm preaching on. Patrick with a nice 6 for 6, $10 into 250, and Reeg on the right side, 15 into 375 with that same six-man that I shared with the group. RJM 1981 on the left side there with nice cash for a $140 win. We had Lil Shade Tree with that same six-man sweep, 10 into 250. D-Rock 22 with some NFL action, 5 into 50. B scoring 33. Nice sweep on the right side there with some NBA plays, some of those fantasy score props. John S 218 with a nice 134 win there on the left side. T-Money 334 went with a 4-man power play, turning a nice $475 win. And R scales on the right side, 5 into 125. So the winners just kept coming this weekend. D3000 AMF on the left side, 5 into 125. We had 89 in the middle, 5 into 50. And the 11104 on the right side with a nice NFL sweep. That was a ticket that I gave out, but he did switch Jahmyr Gibbs instead of Laporta, which was a great move by him because that ticket ended up going 5-1 because of Laporta. The GOAT on the left side sweeping, Tommy S in the middle, 10 into 250, and Ed for Red, 50 into 1250 with that same NBA six-man sweep that we were all able to hit on. So we had a fantastic day over in the VIP yesterday. Looking to keep it going today, not only in the VIP, but on the channel. I got 2 picks for you guys that I've already locked in some tickets with some members over there. So I'm going to be sharing them. If you are interested in joining the VIP squad, would love to have you join. That is linked below in the description. It is on Patreon. It is patreon.com/KJK_DFS. You can just go to Patreon and search KJK DFS. In the Find a Creator search bar, it should pop up. I also will link it down below in the description. And I also do comment and pin the comment so you can get access to all my links pretty easily watching these videos. So would love to have you join over there. If you're getting really serious and you haven't joined already, you need to join. As you can see, we're all cashing in and winning together. You're going to be in a community of all members working towards profiting on these apps. You get access to all my picks, all my tickets as soon as I place them if you get the VIP member package. And yeah, so like example, that ticket that I swept on, I shared, you can see right here, yesterday, 2:55 p.m. I'm on the East Coast myself, but shared it, said it was a 1-unit play. That was my first NBA play of the day. And as you can see, had a nice sweep. So if you haven't joined over there, you are missing out. You should have joined a long time ago if you've been watching my content. But if you haven't, would love to have you join today. And if you enjoy this content, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. It's free. It takes 2 seconds to do. We're on the road to 19,000 subscribers. So let's go ahead and try to get there as soon as we can. Do appreciate it. And I'm going to be giving you guys 2 more fantasy score props. As you can see in that ticket, I've been targeting them quite frequently. And I do have 2 more that I like today, and also the non-fantasy score props, like the Tyrese Maxey points, for instance, in that ticket, tend to get bumped a lot, the best value play. So hopefully these fantasy score props, one of them actually already got bumped already, but I'm going to share with you anyways because I still like it at the number. Let's talk about it. We'll go game by game, as we always do. And the first game that I would like to discuss is going to be the New York Knicks taking on the Boston Celtics. This game comes with a 222 over-under. It is a 9-point spread in favor of the Boston Celtics, so expected to stay close. The Celtics have been blowing out a lot of teams. They are a very talented basketball team. But they have a 115.5 implied total, and they have a guy in their squad that I do have interest in today in Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, been fantastic on the season. You're looking at his fantasy point per minute production, something that I always like to pull up and talk about, obviously, because this is factoring in every single statistic under the sun, and then, you know, spitting out a per minute rate for you guys as far as the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format and how good of a job these guys do at producing. Jaylen Brown, 1.06 fantasy points per minute so far in the season. He's got a 29% usage rate. That's fantastic. He's averaging 36.7 fantasy points per game. He's playing right around 33.4 minutes per game. I would argue that that's a very low per minute number compared to what he's truly playing, just strictly because, like I said, this team's been involved in a lot of blowouts. We've seen Jaylen Brown play in the upper 30s for years now. I am anticipating that he continues to do that if the games can actually stay close. Can't, anticipate blowouts. You cannot predict blowouts. I get asked that all the time in the Discord. Like, are you concerned about a blowout? Well, there's going to be games this year with a 1-point spread that turn into a blowout. There's going to be games with a 9-point spread that turn into a blowout. You can't predict them. You just got to do your best. If the game turns into a blowout, hopefully you have the under and the guy gets taken out early and you're on the good side of variance. But in this case, we're going to be rocking with Jaylen Brown's over. Once again, 115.5 implied total. I talked about his permanent rate. It's been fantastic. Jaylen Brown's a guy that can score. He can rebound the basketball. He can assist. He's also going to rack up blocks and steals. Something you'll hear me talk about frequently throughout the NBA season on these videos, because that's going to obviously supply you with every single thing that you're looking for on a player when targeting his over fantasy score. And Jaylen Brown has been supplying us with that this year, as he has been in the past. Like I said, the last 2 times out, you can see 32 and 29 minutes respectively. Both of those games turned into a blowout. And by the way, I should mention, he's still been hitting his fantasy score in some of those games that turned into a blowout. But you see how he's getting the job done. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, no blocks and steals last time out. He dropped 29 points, 28 points the time before with a steal, 5 and 3. 1 block, 1 steal. He's usually going to be good for a couple of blocks and steals, those peripheral stats like I discussed. Pretty solid defender, 11 points, 2 and 2. So this Boston Celtics team is loaded, man. They have added a bunch of different mouths to feed in the offense, I will say. So the usage has been a little bit unpredictable at times, which is a little bit unfortunate. But Jaylen Brown's still a big part of this team. Still going to play big minutes. Like I said, I think his average minutes have been down a little bit compared to what we should see if the games can just stay close for us. And I do have him projected going over his fantasy score over on Prizepicks today, 34.5. You can see he's cleared this in 4 of the last 5 games. Pretty handedly, 36, 39, 18, 40, 36 for Jaylen Brown. So, once again, a guy I think that's misrepresented on Prizepicks in the fantasy scoring department. Talked about his per minute rate, 1.06 fantasy points per minute. And then, like I said, if he plays in the mid to upper 30s, I mean, he should definitely hit this fantasy score. And I do have him projected, and no surprise to me, everything we've discussed in the upper 30s. As far as my latest projection, right around 37, 38 fantasy points. New York's giving up 29.3 fantasy points per game to small forward starters, which is fantastic. So this is also a great matchup for his position against the New York Knicks. So pick number 1, we're rocking with the over 34.5 fantasy score here for Jaylen Brown. Broke it down. I think this is just a little bit too low of a line, obviously. And got to attack it. So lock that in for pick number 1. And then pick number 2, we're going to discuss another game here in the later time slot, or a little bit later here. It's going to be the Chicago Bulls taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. This game has 230 over under. So it is going to be a little bit of a faster pace game than the one we just discussed as far as the projected pace. In this one, let's see. It is projected to be, well, not too much faster, but a little bit faster than the next Celtics game. A 100.1 projected pace as far as the pace metric is concerned, which is fantastic. And you look at the 2 teams in this game. The Bucks come in 4th in pace as far as the slate. The Bulls are all the way down at 29th. So this is going to be a big pace-up matchup for the Chicago Bulls, which is fantastic. Obviously, more possessions, more fantasy point production opportunity. And I'd like to discuss DeMar DeRozan. Another guy I think that's too low over here on Prizepicks, and a 230 total with a 110.25 implied total for the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan's fantasy point production, he is putting up, as far as on a per minute basis, 1.10 fantasy points per minute in the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format. So very similar to Jaylen Brown, a little bit better than Jaylen Brown at that 1.06 mark. And another guy that has a great usage rate, 26% usage rate for DeMar DeRozan, and another guy that's going to play mid to upper 30s, 34.7 minutes per game so far on the season. Once again, we got a couple games under our belt. These guys are starting to get well conditioned. I would anticipate DeMar DeRozan is going to end up playing a lot more minutes at times. And I got his fantasy score in a little bit early with my premium members, I will say, and it has gotten bumped since then, but I still like the prop. It's only gotten bumped up 1 so far. Hopefully it doesn't get bumped again. And 37.5, going to be going with the over. He just cleared this in the last 3 games. Had a little bit of a rough start to start the season, but he's been doing a lot better. I think it's just a matter of getting in rhythm for DeMar DeRozan, and he has been showing that he's doing so. Last couple games, minutes have been up, 40 and 37 minutes respectively in some close games. Once again, similar to Jaylen Brown. We've seen him in the lower 30s in some games. I think that was an outlier. We've seen some blowouts. Once again, Utah, he only played 30 minutes, 130 to 113. That score was, so got pulled early. But guy that's going to get you some peripherals. He's pretty scoring reliant at times, I will say, which we don't quite like. But the minutes are just there, and the fantasy point production, like I said, on a permanent basis is too high for where the number's set. 29 points last time out, 22 points, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 7 assists, 21 points, 4 steals, 4 assists, 5 blocks. So you can see 5 rebounds, I should say. You can see the kind of production that DeRozan has been supplying. And 37.5, too low for me. So another prop that we're going to be taking the over. Latest projection on DeMar DeRozan, some matchup stats and all that fun stuff I always like to break down for you guys. Played 37 minutes. It's a positive pace differential. Milwaukee's given up 31.6 fantasy points per game to small forward starters, 5.7 rebounds, 6.4 field goals. So once again, another great matchup for him taking on Milwaukee. They ranked 29th against the position. All these things are obviously factored into my projections, but I do like to share that with you guys. We got a great matchup for small forward for DeRozan. Same thing for Jaylen Brown. Kind of a guard, small forward mix, both of these guys. Both I have going over tonight, and both will be my 2 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks in the NBA tonight, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. It's free. It takes 2 seconds to do. It does greatly help me out, and I'll be helping you guys out with these videos for free all NBA season long. Once again, the premium is linked below in the description if you want to get access to all my picks as soon as I place them. There are certain things that I just simply cannot do in these YouTube videos, such as, instantly notify you, find value on all apps, kind of zoom around. I'm going to look to do some more free content, try to give out more free value as much as I can. If you do have any ideas for content, somebody had mentioned maybe doing some live streams on some bigger slates. I certainly took note of that. Let me know down below in the comments. I will listen to your comments, your feedback, and always working to try to improve, provide you as much value as I can for free, and then also over in the premium. So thank you for tuning in. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks NBA player props tonight, and we will see you in the next one.